Alright, I'm going to show you how to change your wheel bearings with little to no tools. You can use that puller kit from Harbor Freight, or I will actually use a punch and a hammer in your old bearings to show you how to uninstall and install these new ones. So first we're going to give a roll comparison since I'm going from standard wheel bearings to ceramic wheel bearings. And you can see the standard ones don't spin very well, maybe 3/4 of a turn. We'll see how much a difference these ceramic bearings make. Let's hope it's a lot. So first you're going to pull your cotter pin out. Little vice grip or plier action. Next you're going to need a 32 millimeter. You just loosen the tension off of that bolt. Pretty simple. I'll even show you it's a 32 millimeter. Yep, 32. So now we're going to unscrew the rest of the nut by hand, not to scratch the swing arm up. And we're going to pull the axle out all the way. Just pull it out with your hand. Now remove your chain, but you will not be able to get your chain all the way off until you move the wheel forward. And the only way you can move the wheel forward is by pulling your brake out now that the axle's not in there. So I'll lift this, set it out my way, and there we go. Now the wheel will just fall out of place. You can move your chain. So next you're going to pull your spacers out. Regular wheels will have spacers just like that. You'll remove them for both sides, and then you'll be able to just lift your carrier out of place. This is your Sprocket carrier. It has one bearing in it, and your wheel has two bearings in it. I just used that 32 millimeter I had, flipped it backwards onto the race, and hit it a couple times with a hammer, and it popped right out the carrier, as you'll see right here. Just came right out. And that's my old bearing. It's pretty shot. Now this is the new ceramic bearing. This is the no tool way. So you just clean the carrier out of any debris, put your new bearing on, take your old bearing, line it up exactly so when you hit it, it distributes the force evenly. Now you want to hit it on the outer edges evenly. You do not want that bearing to come off of that other bearing, or you don't want to mar that seal up. But went in great. Make sure it's flush on both sides and you are ready to go. Now on a regular ZX10, you can pull these spacers out and just by hand, but on these Dimag wheels, you have to punch them out, just like you'll have to do the bearings. So I'm showing right now, in case any of you had Dimag wheels and want to know how to change your aftermarket wheel bearings, you hit it with a punch on the corner from the inside and it knocks the spacer out. Flip it over and do it on the other side, and you'll be able to move that sleeve around to get a little bit better sight. Just knock her on out of there. Just like I said, on regular wheels, you just remove them by hand, but these are pressed in there ever so slightly. So, all right, now the bearing will come out with that sleeve. That's the sleeve on the inside. You want to make sure you put that sleeve back in. It actually pinches your two wheel bearing inner races together, so your bearing don't collapse on itself when you tighten that axle nut. So do not leave that out. But here I'm showing you how to knock your bearing out. Now that that sleeve's out, you can see it a little better. But you go from corner to corner around in a circle, just like that. That'll be the motion you hit it in, and then voila, it'll pop right out. You just walk that bearing on out. So pull that old bearing out right there. There she is. She's all clean of bearings. She's all ready to go. Nice new ceramic bearings. Here I'm just wiping the grease out of the hole. Getting the dirt all cleaned up. You don't want to have any debris in there. So do the same thing when you do with your carrier bearing. You're going to do this on both sides, but I'll show you just in case. I'll walk you on through it. I'll hold your hand. Old Max ain't going to let you go. Put your old dirty bearing back on top. Get your hammer out. It's hammer time. Do, 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 do. Now do it in the direction I showed you, corner to corner around in a circle, and when it's flat, it'll make a different tapping noise. So you'll hear it solidly in there. Now flip it over and do the other one. Oh, wait, you didn't put that sleeve in, did you? Yeah, I told you didn't want to forget it, and you almost did it. All right, when you set the sleeve in, just kind of make sure it's even enough for that axle to go through. At least you can see through it. You can adjust it with an axle or a screwdriver a little bit more, but here I'm showing you want to get it kind of in line because it's kind of tough to manipulate with it inside the rim. So now that it's a roundish in place, use your old bearing. Give her a little pop again in a circle, and boom, it's back in. Now we're cooking. So now that both of your brand new bearings are in, either you can just push your new spacers in, wheel spacers in by hand, or if you got die mag wheels or aftermarket wheels, give your old spacers a little tap. And you are good. You are ready to go home. See, I can't push mine on like you guys can with your regular wheels. I got to give her a little love tap. All right, once she's done, clean all your crap off, all your crud. It's the best time to clean it because you're not going to get to this unless you take the wheel back off. Nobody wants to do that. It is no fun. So on the die mag wheel, you have these. This is your cush drive. On your regular rim, they're in that sprocket carrier, but not on this aftermarket rim. So then you just push your sprocket carrier on. If you got a factory one, you just push it on. All right. Now you line everything back up. And voila, snap of a finger, 2 snaps of a finger because of bad editing. Everything is back together. It's magic. Reverse it the exact way you took it apart. You'll be fine. All right, and I'm going to put it down, and let's see if we picked up any rotational drag. And we did. Looks like we're better than double the spinning speed. It's actually pretty impressive just on bearing changes. So we'll see what we pick up with the front. I'm guessing it'll be a little bit more because of the drag of the chain, which makes the big drag amount. So we'll spin it here, see what we get with the stock wheel bearings. Looks like 2 turns. These wheel bearings are actually brand new. They didn't need to be replaced, but I was already doing the back ones with ceramics, so went ahead and changed the front ones. Now you'll need to loosen these 4 axle pinch bolts. They're 6mm. And then you're going to use this tool. Now, you can buy a huge Allen wrench. It's like $20. Or you can go to the hardware store and find a nut that fits in your axle and either use 2 bolts and clamp them on the end of a bolt so you can turn it out. Or just tack weld one of your nuts on the bolt, which is what I did. And now I have an effective huge Allen wrench. So now you're about ready to pop your axle out. But I forgot, you have to take the brake calipers off. Look at me, I'm a big dummy. So just get your 12mm out. I used a wrench, you can use a ratchet. 12 is what you need to take that brake caliper off. Just slide it out the way. Once you got both your brake calipers out the way, then you can pull your axle out. That's all you need to get your front tire off. Now effectively, you're going to be doing the exact same thing with the front rim as the back rim, but I'll show you just to make sure. This has no carrier or anything, so you're only going to have to replace 2 bearings on this. You hit the back side of that one like you did on the front and knock it out. If you got a regular Zx10 rim, you just pull it out by hand. Set it a little elevation so it doesn't hit the ground, so when you knock it out, it comes out. All right, I knocked that one out too. So now you want to hit the bearing exact same way you hit the rear bearing. It's really not rocket science, but if you got a problem with it, this is why I'm making this video. And then we're gonna hit the corner. I guess you can't see as good as the rest of the shots, but give it a little tap, tap, taparoo, and that bearing and that inner spacer will fall out on the ground. There's that inner spacer. Now, if any of your spacers for the sides are different thicknesses, you're going to want to keep them to the side they came off of. Don't mix them up or the wheel won't fit on right. But mine are the exact same. Your fronts are usually the exact same. The rears are different. So you're going to want to set your rears to the side that they came off on and make sure you got it right. Now here at the 10-minute mark, I'm just cleaning the inside of the rim and I'm going to put the bearings back in. You're going to have to forgive me because I've been talking for 10 minutes and 45 seconds now, and I'm kind of running out of things to say. My voice is kind of killing me, but I don't know how to stop and edit and break it up. So I'm going to keep running with it. Put your spacer back in. Then add that old bearing back in. Make sure you use your old bearings to give them a little tap, tap, taparoo on the corners. Then tap your spacers back in each side. Make sure they're the right side. Effectively, now you're done. You just want to put your axle back in, tighten your brake calipers back on, and you are fine. Now I'm going to show you, with the brakes not depressed, how much of a difference ceramic bearings really make in rotational drag. These are EEC bearings. They made a huge difference. So you see we had 2 turns before. This is the same rotational speed. I'm guessing I got 16 or 17 rotations out. It just goes forever. I mean, it's very good mod. The bearings are supposed to last longer than steel bearings, and it turns forever. Rotational drag is non-existent, basically. So I would recommend, for a couple $100, doing this upgrade. Makes your bike a little quicker, your bearings run a little cooler, and it lasts a little longer. But